Relationship advice. Update. During a fight, my wife told me she should have just effed that guy from Tinder like she was going to. Original post. I've been married to my wife for 2 years now. She's 27 female, I'm 32 male. I'm a doctor who works with COVID patients in an area that's pretty hard hit at the moment. She's unemployed due to the pandemic. She's home all the time, I never am, and it's causing some friction in our relationship. There's nothing I can do about the amount I'm working until things begin to settle down, so I try to make the time I'm home with her special romantic dinners, movie nights, virtual game nights with our friends. But whenever I'm home, she's just angry about how much I'm not home. The other night we got into an argument. I hadn't been home in a while. I came home from a shift, showered, and made dinner. I set up the dining room for a dinner date, candles on the table, flowers, etc. When my wife came downstairs, she took her plate, didn't say a word to me, and went to eat in the living room. I followed her and asked her to join me in the dining room. She said she can't be expected to stop what she's doing because I decided to grace her with my presence. All she was doing was watching TV. It's not like I was out at the bar with my friends, I had been working. So, we got into an argument. At one point, she walked out of the room and said, I should have just effed that guy off Tinder like I was going to. I haven't spoken to her since. I feel disgusted. She's since tried to backtrack, and say it was just something she said in the heat of the moment to get me mad. I don't know what to do now. I've just been sleeping at the hospital. Now for the top advice before reading the update. You've not done anything wrong here. Absolutely nothing. You're working the hardest you ever have to save lives and support yourself and your wife. Thank you for putting yourself at risk for our sake. By the way, I feel like doctors don't get the recognition they deserve. It's commendable that you still put the effort into keeping your relationship alive even after what I'm sure are very long, exhausting days at work. Regarding your wife, she is being entirely unreasonable. I suspect you already know that perfectly well though. The specificity of her spiteful comment leads me to believe that she has been, at the very least, emotionally cheating on you. By the sound of it, it may well have been going on for some time now if she's met someone online, spoken to him, planned to meet for intercourse, and then backed out of it. She's backtracking because she never meant for you to find out, not because she wanted to hurt you. Basically, OP, your wife sounds incredibly spoilt, childish, bratty and vindictive. And she's a cheater to boot. Well said, dude. I suspect she's already cheated on him. At the very least, she was planning on cheating on him. Let's see, she is getting mad at her husband for rising to the call of his duty during a global pandemic, working, providing for both of them while she is out of work, making an effort during the few hours he is home to do something special for them both. There really isn't anything left to say. She got so mad at OP for being incredible that she told him she should have cheated on him. Divorce yesterday. You forgot how he is still putting in a lot of effort with barely energy left from all the work he has been doing. Wife does F all. You deserve better, OP. Wow, all that free time without her husband, and instead of getting a job or volunteering, or undertaking a productive hobby, she spends it on Tinder? She so clearly wants out, but sticks around for the free ride. Give the girl what she wants. This isn't a wife, bud. We're making him dinner. She sounds awful and incredibly immature. And now for the update. Thank you all for your advice. I wish I could have responded to everyone, but by the time I checked the post, comments were closed. I spoke to my wife, and she came clean that she had been talking to other men online. She said she has not met up with anyone or physically cheated on me, but she had sent explicit photos to some of these men. She said she hadn't felt as though she had been connecting with me. She claimed that quality time we spent together felt rushed, and she felt lonely watching so many of her friends quarantine with loved ones, while she was home alone. I asked her if she felt as though she was suffering from depression. She said no. I also asked if she thought she needed to see a therapist. Again, no. Of course there were much more to these conversations, there was much more said. I'm summing them up. I decided that I wanted space to think about what I should do next, so she is staying with her sister. However, I don't think this relationship is salvageable. Sending explicit photos to other men is a form of cheating in my opinion. As a doctor, there will be many times in my career I need to work long hours, and I think I want someone at home who I know is going to have my back. Again, thank you all for your advice. Have a wonderful night. Now for some top comments. I wish you the very best. Indeed, It sounds like you need to move on and find a more suitable partner. Agreed. Plenty of faithful partners out there. Don't take her back once she realizes the chase isn't what it's cracked up to be. Lawyer up. Good luck. Good for you for respecting yourself enough to leave a person who clearly didn't care about you. I'm wishing you all the best. Move on, brother. Her telling you she should have effed that other guy, yeah, it's over. I think you're making the right decision. Thank you for working through this hell on earth. Now for the next story. Don't know how to tell my infertile wife that I got my affair partner pregnant? First time post because I cannot ask anyone else. Might be long post. Me, 37 male, and my wife, 38 female, have been married for 10 years and together for 15 years. I am a software engineer and my wife is a nurse. In early stages of marriage, we tried for a baby for about 2 to 3 years but no result, so we consulted a doctor. He told us that my wife was infertile and would never be able to become a mother. We decided to live child-free and we adopted 3 dogs. About 7 months ago, my wife had a crapload of work at hospital due to COVID, and she had to spend most of the time at hospital. Whenever she came home, I would be asleep because I had to take care of home and dogs plus my own work, so I was exhausted at the end of day. During this time, she grew closer to one of her colleagues, 40 male, and started an affair. They had emotional affair which turned into physical affair. Their affair lasted for about 2 months. I had no idea about the affair because there was no noticeable change in her behavior. I think she changed her hospital branch on her own. I had no clue why she changed, but she told me that she had a fight with one of the employees and they were being allocated in different branch for same reason. About 2 months ago, my wife started crying on our dinner date and told me about the affair. I was crushed and ended up going for drinks. I drank way too much and was unable to drive back home. Luckily, our neighbor saw me and took me to home. I slept the night in the spare bedroom along with dogs. Next morning, I asked her about affair and why she did that. She answered by saying that there was no excuse for affair and it was her fault, and she was the wrong person. Then I asked her about time span of affair. Apparently, the time span hurt me the most. For 2 months, how she could betray me every day, yet still put the mask on. She even hid it from me for about 4 months. I don't know why but I stayed. Maybe it was her remorse and her passion to reconcile. After D-Day, I started drinking more, and every night, I was blackout drunk at bar. My neighbor worked at the bar and always helped me to get home. This led to the attraction of me towards her. I know that revenge affair leads to mess up situation, but at that time, I was just thinking ways to hurt my wife like she did to me. My affair started about a month and a half ago. My affair partner was my neighbor, 27 female, so it was not at all difficult for me to reach at her place. Whenever my wife went to work, I invited her to my house or I would go to her house. This went for about 5 weeks. She told me that she was on birth control so we did not use protection. She was not looking for a long-term relationship, so she was just casually dating me. About 2 weeks ago, my wife came home early from work and saw me kissing the neighbor in her home through the window. She non-stop banged the door and was crying like crazy. As soon as I opened the door, she attacked my affair partner and grabbed her hair. I lifted her and took her to her home. At home, she had a panic attack. I thought that I would feel better after revenge, but I was feeling more disgusted with myself. That night, we talked about details and she was angry that I took my affair to her home. She said she doesn't want to know detail, because that would make her more resentful to her home and everything would be a trigger. That night, she tried to attempt to end herself, due to which she was sent to mental health hospital for a week. Now we are in better place and are happy with each other. She came home last week, and we are trying hard to reconcile. But this morning, my neighbor sent me the message that she is pregnant and I am the dad. I immediately called her and asked her that she was taking birth control, so how could she get pregnant? She said that she changed her pills from one brand to another, so that could be the reason. I asked her if there's a possibility another man of being the father, to which she said that I was the only one she was sleeping with for about 2 months. Now I am regretting my decision of revenge affair, and apparently, my wife would not be able to handle this news. I know I am the biggest scumbag and not deserve another chance, but I truly want to reconcile and be with my wife. My wife has always dreamed of having children. I don't want to hurt her feelings. I talked to my affair partner about termination. She said that she had 3 miscarriages until now. She would not terminate the baby if the baby survives. I don't know if I should tell her or not, and if I do tell her, how should I tell her? Any advice is appreciated and you can cuss me in the comments. Now for the top advice. You have to be honest. Your wife deserves to know that you didn't use protection with your cheat partner so she can get tested for STDs. You also have to tell her the other woman is pregnant. She will find out eventually, and things will be much worse if you hide it from her. Gonna be honest. Your marriage is probably over, and should be. If there is any chance of saving it, it will require total honesty, total transparency, marriage counseling, and probably moving. Agreed 100%, especially on the STD part. Your selfishness and irresponsibility had resulted to getting your affair partner knocked up, and possibly exposing yourself and your wife to an ailment. Honesty is the least thing you could do, at this point. And get a damn divorce, already. The marriage should have been over when she cheated, not when he retaliated. Not going to cuss you. That is not what you are here for. Your wife is going to go ballistic and this will be the end of your marriage. It should have been after her affair, and you know that. Protect your finances and get a divorce attorney. Figure out who is going to get the dogs and start over. Also, you are going to be a dad. Make sure you are a good dad even if you do not have a relationship with the mom. Good luck. And demand a paternity test. Don't take the neighbor's word for it. That's just awful for everyone involved, really awful. Also, having an affair is horrible to begin with, even if in revenge, but not using protection with someone who you're having an affair with, literally puts everyone at risk. Which I guess you've found out. There's no way to sugarcoat it and it is going to really hurt your wife. I would be devastated. Sit her down, tell her you have news that is going to be a shock, and then just tell her. Make sure it's early in the evening, so if she wants to go somewhere else, people will still be awake and she can use a support system. Then wait for the fallout. This is where your choices have got you. Now for the last story. Been a month since my girlfriend of 7 years left me for someone else. Need advice please. So, my girlfriend of 7 years, now ex, left me a month ago for someone else after her dad passed away. She cheated on me and gaslighted me about it for months 4 years in, and we split up for 6 months before I allowed her to cry and beg her way back into my life. Never should have believed a word she said. Anyways, I don't have a time machine to go back and change the decision I made. So, I'm back on square one. And just a disclaimer, I am never allowing this girl back into my life. She has completely destroyed the quality of my life twice now, and I did absolutely nothing but be there for her through everything, trying to be as good of a boyfriend as humanly possible. Now that that's out of the way, it's been a month. I've gotten rid of every single thing that reminds me of her. I've been going to my friend's gym he has at his house since all the local gyms are closed, and have been talking to my friends, and I'm currently waiting to hear back from an interview I had 5 days ago for a good paying job. I'm trying to stay motivated, but compared to the last time we broke up, it feels so much harder. There's literally nothing to do because of COVID, and all of my friends are off at college with the exception of one, but he has so many personal/family issues of his own going on so it's impossible to hang out except for the gym. I just started taking this acne medication called Accutane. It's basically guaranteed to work wonders, even though my acne isn't even that bad, but the side effects have me a little sketched out. And I've been eating a lot more healthy foods, trying to put on some muscle. Back when me and my ex first broke up, I gained a bunch of muscle and was acne-free within 2 months and was at my peak. All of my friends were home, no COVID, I was hooking up with girls, although that didn't really help much except for self-esteem. And there was lots to do. This time around my life is literally wake up, eat, gym, eat, video games, sleep, repeat. Meanwhile my ex is out doing her thing with her new guy. By the way, I've blocked her on everything and am 100% no contact. I refuse to talk to women this time around, because I don't want to do that until I'm over this girl, and don't have that disrespectful mindset towards women thinking they're all the same. I've never felt so unmotivated to do anything, and feel like a bum occupying my days with video games, but I feel like there's literally nothing else I can do. And I spend time on Reddit giving others advice with their problems, but feel like I can't even get through my own. Any advice/tips on some progressive ways I can get through this and not feel so trapped in my head/house? Now for the top advice. Have you sought out an individual counselor? You have taken 2 emotional stabs, so I think this is needed for a few months, just to vent to a professional. You can also try boxing, just hitting a bag is a huge stress relief for me. Yes, I started going to counseling before we even broke up because she, my ex, had me convinced that I had to work on trusting her better. Shaking my head. I literally only had trust issues because she started acting shady again, and I pointed out the red flags when I saw them, but she made me think I was crazy for thinking she'd cheat on me again. But yeah, I'm still in counseling and will be in it for a while. Also, good idea, I'm for sure going to have to invest in a punching bag. I have been gaining interest in learning more about fighting. Wow, you are already doing a lot right. Please also get tested for STDs, better safe than sorry. What I would advise you to do is to think about goals. Sit down for 30 minutes and write down goals you want to achieve in 6 months, 1 year and 5 years from now. Not some BS like, being happy again. Go into detail. I want to travel to X and learn that language before I travel there, for example. Or getting another education. Moving to a different location. Whatever it is that you want to accomplish. Think about goals you want to achieve, and then make a plan of what you have to do to achieve them. Good luck and stay strong. You are so young. In the not so near future, you won't even be able to remember what her face looks like. Live your life, rejoice in the fact that you invested much less time than many others have. You are in a decent place. The rejection you feel, the pain. Normal. But in a matter of time, you will realize she isn't the woman you thought she was. The woman you thought she was, never really existed. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day, everyone.